Welcome, Virgo. This is Regina doing your full moon in Virgo reading on March the 7th. The full moon, the lunation, is on March 7th, and Saturn is going to be entering Pisces on that date as well. So this is a significant change that is going to affect all of our abilities and desire to dissolve some of the conditioning that we've experienced, in addition to watching the disillusion contributing to the crumbling of many of the social structures that we have grown up and been conditioned by. Let's get started with your overall energy, Virgo, for this lunation, the Eight of Swords. What I'm getting from this card is a kind of divine anxiety, if there is such a thing. This is you taking yourself out of your present and really trying to strategize in every way possible, many ways, very imaginatively and with supreme attention to details that may not be actually relevant to any eventuality that exists either in the past or in the present, certainly not in the future. This is you worried and concerned about something that you want to start, something you feel that you have done successfully for a time, and you may be experiencing blocks or criticism, negative feedback on something that you've been doing successfully for a while. This is causing you to do a lot of second guessing, doubting, spinning out these not concrete possibilities that are draining you physically, and your nervous system is very naturally highly attuned. So this is really taking over your space. This is draining you, and this is an energy that you want to escape from, despite the fact that it is dominating your sense of being present. In the 10th house, we have the Moon card, and this is the house of your social identity. So this is really vibing with this sense of general anxiety that you're experiencing. This anxiety is superficial. It's more about the details, blocks, and obstacles you may be facing. The moon shows a greater attunement to the issues, the concerns, the information that is bubbling up from your subconscious, and also that you are attuned to collectively. This has a lot to do with the meaning of history, the significance of the struggles of humankind. Whatever your area of interest or connection with the human story, I know this is incredibly broad, but I believe this is relevant to many of you who are scholars, who are teachers, who are involved in serious contemplation about the history of humankind, as an example, so that you are sensing and intuiting new currents, new collective needs, a new desire to address injustices that are bubbling up to the surface in a very apparent way that is new to our collective experience. We're so much more greatly connected with places around the globe and the experiences of human beings who we may or will never meet. And this awareness, this ability alone is sensitizing you to some upswelling of energy. And in part, this Saturn moving into Pisces is this very kind of movement where Saturn, which is our desire for stability, rules, and structure, is having to give way to the places where it does not serve the needs of others, that is being dissolved by more information, higher needs, higher capacities of us to address the things that haven't been working. I hope that's clear. In the first house, we have the Ten of Jades, or the Ten of Pentacles. And as this lunation is particularly going to be impactful to you in your first house, the area of your self-conception, your self-focus and concentration, you are allowing the tremendous benefits, the wealth, the resources that you've been able to build up for yourself to create this change, to level up your ability to have an impact on the world, to have an impact on your community. And by world, I don't mean everybody in the world, and I hope that's clear. Your world, it really is about your community, however you define that. You are working to augment, to elevate our appreciation of our cultural legacy. And this is a very clear message I'm getting for those of you that are scholars, that are teachers, that are leaders at any level, where the creation of abundance, which is a gift that you have, the ability to create wealth out of resources that are available, is allowing you to recognize that this legacy can have a much greater impact on more people. In the fourth house, the Three of Cups, in your area of home, in your foundation, in the place of your family, even your history, is showing this sense of reconciliation, reconnection, celebration of the support that exists, the support that you receive, and the support you can give. This is a really beautiful card that's showing that perhaps relationships or connections from your family of origin, your formative years, that may have been dropped are available to you at some level. There's the goodwill, the interest, the nurturing, the care that exists in a reconciliation of some sort. And this can have to do obviously with children, but this can, and with family members, but this can have to do with your professional experience as well, because this is opposing your 10th house, your social experience, and this can be the impact of the legacy that you are creating. Some of the result of that is this well of support, nurturance, attention, camaraderie, and vulnerability that you've been able to share as part of your professional experience and effort. In the seventh house, the house of your significant others, we have the Nine of Cups. And this is telling me a story of your ability to be thoroughly satisfied and content with the process that you have gained, that you're in your emotional independence, joy, gratitude, your ability to enjoy what you have, and to make that, be generous with that. But your ability to understand that what you have, single, coupled, in a family, without a family, is, you understand, is more than enough. You feel abundant in your current status. And this can indicate a happy connection, a reunion, a fulfillment in your significant relationships, particularly with yourself. But this is reflected in all of your relationships. The Ten of Jades in the first house is clarified by the Ten of Swords in the second house, and the Hangman in the third house. You have been taking responsibility for those things that haven't worked in your life, particularly those things that may not have may not have been fruitful in terms of your stability, your security, the ways where you were not successful in creating the support, the comfort, the safety, even the abundance that you have aspired to, that you are now experiencing as part of this legacy that you are identifying yourself with. This has not only allowed you to take responsibility for that lack, for the limitation you've experienced with your resources, but it's also allowed you to sever those relationships, or you are in the process of letting go of those relationships, those associations, particularly those habits of mind that have held you back, that have allowed you to, that have encouraged you to invest in things that did not serve your needs, in those relationships that were not interested in your fulfillment or your desires. This has all necessitated this stepping back in order that you gain perspective. And in many ways, it is this recognition that you could be thinking differently, shifting your perspective to allow you to recognize the opportunities that exist. Shifting these habits of mind that feel responsible for all the details of your efforts, of your accomplishments, is part of what you are struggling through right now. So much is becoming clear to you in your evolution as a mature, pleasure-seeking, relaxed, comfortable contributor, person who is nurturing to others, but also nurturing to themselves, is part of what you are learning to recognize in your efforts, in your thoughts, in your efforts. Ways in which you can surrender the moment, pause, to link up the criticism that you may be experiencing along a fairly successful career path, and the changes that you know you need to make in order to maximize and receive the rewards that you have created. The Three of Cups in the fourth house is clarified by the High Priestess in the fifth house and the Empress in the sixth house. Wow. You're definitely very, very in sync at a creative level. You are picking up on traumas, challenges in your collective experience, and this feels very much about your cultural heritage, your generational or ancestral path. You are linking up and finding strength in those things that have appeared mysterious, oppressive, or unsupportive of your growth, that have been apparent obstacles. You're now recognizing the strength, the courage, and the ability to overcome those things as something you've been given. You've inherited this. This is part of the legacy that you have inherited, and part of what is informing this new, more profound sense of your purpose on the planet, who you are, and your capacity. This is beautifully experienced in your working environment with colleagues, through your routines, your habits, how you work with others, but also how you take care of yourself. Again, this is you really learning to receive the efforts of your rewards, the rewards of your efforts. You know what I mean. The Empress is really about relaxing into this state of creativity that is natural to you. This ability to build creatively, to find pleasure in maximizing your resources and utilizing them in a way that's never ending, unstoppable, and really mimics your natural experience, the experience of nature, the experience of the evolution of your culture, your heritage, your ancestry. This is a card of, again, maximum creativity, bursting through the seams with ideas, ways to build again on what you have already successfully created. And the Nine of Cups in the 7th house is clarified by the Chariot in the 8th house and the Seven of Cups in the 9th house. You're moving very powerfully towards building again on the resources that you share with others. And my sense is that you are creating something new out of a successful effort, a successful achievement, or a business accomplishment. You're building on that. You're taking the contradictions, the conflicts that you may be experiencing in your work, in your career, in your community, and you're really using that, asking for the help that you need, asking for the help that's being, or using the help that's being offered in order to create and build something successfully. There is a desire for you to reach out to find gratification that may be a projection of some a fulfillment, a assuaging, some kind of soothing of a heartache that you experienced. You may be overwhelmed by all the opportunities that are coming towards you, particularly for you to travel, for you to align yourself with new institutions, particularly educational institutions, publishing institutions, even traveling institutions. You are being made many offers. Many of them you know are not equally beneficial. Some of them might even be dangerous. Overall, they can be distracting as they are overwhelming. And these are ways that we often use to appease ourselves for things that haven't gone well. These are our projections based on negative patterns that we may have formed through our conditioning. You are not allowing that to deter your forward motion, but you are tempted, and you are, depending on your maturity, being distracted by many of the offers that are glamorous seeming, but do not allow you to feel the deep calling that you are experiencing. And one of those callings is this permission to be your most creative self, to build on that legacy of your imagination, your desire to expand and articulate some historical lessons in a creative way. I'm hoping that makes sense to some of you. That's very specific. The Moon card in the 10th house is clarified by the 8 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles. I love this. This is showing me that you are thoroughly invested in your self-development, in your personal growth. You understand that by perfecting your skill, not perfecting, I take that back, by improving your skills, mastering your gifts, investing in those things that you know how to do, taking them to a higher level. You are, in fact, improving on the conditions of your environment. You are creating new pathways, new tools, new resources that will be available to others. And this is important to you because this really affirms the sense of satisfaction in what it is you've been able to create. This fosters your independence that does not take you away from a successful relationship, but it does give you the sense of empowerment around your resources and your relationships, so that you are reflecting your independence, your self-reliance within relationships so that you are able to come together with others and build on this beautiful legacy. There's a 7, an 8, a 9, and a 10 of Pentacles here in a row. So you are continuing to build on this legacy that you've already achieved. I hope you're enjoying this reading. If so, please like and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot, and I appreciate all the support that I receive from all of you. And I pulled empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of a situation. I hope, Virgo, this has been helpful to you. I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, namaste.